Good morning, everybody. I am in the middle of the Utah desert down in St. George. It's supposed to get really hot here over the next couple days. We're here for 5 days and we have some amazing adventures planned. Today I'm on the Hells Canyon Trail and I'm just hoping to be able to find some birds before it gets unbearably hot today. I think the high is supposed to be 106 degrees today, which is way too hot for me. Come with me on this journey and let's see what birds we can find. We have a really good start to the day today. My favorite bird of all time, the greater Roadrunner. It was a little bit obscured by some bushes, and then I saw something I've never seen before. It took off and it flew like 6 feet into the air. So pretty cool to start off the day with that bird. Since then we haven't seen anything filmable. So let's see what other birds we can find today.
Despite the extremely hot temperatures, the canyon was quite cool in the morning. The scenery was absolutely stunning, with the red rock and large boulders on both sides of the trail. Desert birding will always be one of my favorites.
Super excited right now. I just picked up a bird that I've only filmed once before on the channel, a canyon wren. Just an amazing creature. Obviously it hangs out in canyons like this one, Hells Canyon. And I also got it singing, so take a listen. Such an incredible bird, and honestly, we're going quality over quantity right now. We only have about 5 or 6 species on our list and only 2 on camera, and both of them are absolutely incredible birds, the greater Roadrunner and the canyon wren. Unfortunately, the path I was going to take is closed, so we're going to see if we can pick up any birds in this riverbed down here. Again, it's supposed to get really, really hot today, so I'm only going to bird a couple hours, and then you can hear the canyon wren behind me. If I don't get enough stuff on camera today, then we'll go out again and make this kind of a 2-part video. Part of this trail that I was planning on going on is washed completely out. So I'm gonna turn back, and if we see anything else on the way back, we'll get it on camera. If not, we'll hit another location. But picked up the canyon wren's cousin, the rock wren. Much more common than the canyon wren, at least in my experience and where I'm at. So really cool to see that bird. It was jumping in and out of cavities in the rock up here, which is awesome to see. And yeah, it's another wren species. It's cool to get both of them in the same trip. This trail is absolutely wonderful, and the canyon's keeping things nice and cool. So let's see if we can head back, maybe get more views of the greater Roadrunner. I don't have photos of the greater Roadrunner with this camera. I'd love to get those. Let's see what we can find.
I ascended back out of the canyon as the sun appeared just over the ridge. Silhouetted on the horizon was my favorite bird, the greater Roadrunner. Greater Roadrunners are my favorite bird for a variety of reasons. They are large cuckoos and spend more time running than flying. It's so quick that it can actually outrun a human. They are also pretty amazing as they can kill rattlesnakes as well. They are uniquely adapted to overcome the desert, secreting a salt solution out of the glands near their eyes to help them conserve water. A rather drab-looking verdin perched on a spindly bush off the trail. This bird can also be found in Utah in the southern desert. Another canyon wren perched itself, this time on a burnt log. The dark orange color on this bird is just absolutely beautiful. An Anna's hummingbird with a partial gorget flashed its pink beard, reflecting off the new morning rays. A peaceful-looking mourning dove stood in the newly born sunlight. These birds are ridiculously underrated due to how common they are.
Okay, so we've had a crazy stretch of birds just sitting here. I got my Year Lucy's warbler, another bird I've only filmed once ever on this channel, and these are by far my best views, despite how brief they are. That just shows you that this is a difficult bird to film, like most warblers. And then flying across the horizon was a freaking 2 blue grosbeaks. I've only gotten this bird on camera once before. That is usually a rare bird for Utah. It's easier to find down here, down south, but absolutely incredible to find those birds. What's up, everybody? It's day 2 of the Southern Utah adventure, and today we're at Zion National Park. This place is absolutely incredible. The views from the visitor center are already insane, and we've already seen some amazing birds. First bird of this trip is a red-breasted nuthatch. So picked up a red-breasted nuthatch to add to our Southern Utah list. And then secondly, also got a summer tanager, one of the most beautiful birds in North America. That alone is already a highlight of this journey, and we haven't even left the visitor center yet. So let's see what other birds we can find today, and let's go see some incredible things.
To get almost anywhere in the summer at Zion, you have to take a shuttle. We headed towards our destination, the most popular hike in the park, the Narrows. Waiting for us at the trailhead was this Halloween bird, the black-headed grosbeak. As we walked down the trail, my heart jumped every time I saw a large bird soaring over. They were almost always a turkey vulture, and not the coveted condor. Ground squirrels surrounded the trail, undoubtedly being fed by the uninformed hikers. The biggest shock of the trip was this American dipper in the river. These birds are truly remarkable as they live in and hunt raging rivers, submerging their tiny bodies in the water. Overhead, a red-tailed hawk soared over, riding the thermals above us. This is probably the most iconic hawk species in North America, and I'm planning on doing an extensive video over on the Learn channel soon. A rather mangy-looking mule deer walked along the trail, uncaring about the people around it. A young American robin hopped and foraged in the rocks along the riverbank, looking for insects. To wrap up the trail, we got extremely close looks at this black-headed grosbeak. Some of these creatures were absolutely fearless. Remember, it's against national park rules to feed any of the wildlife, even the birds. We hopped back on the shuttle for one more chance at seeing our target bird, the California Condor.
Narrows hike was absolutely incredible. Not a ton of birds, but it's not really a bird hike. There's two popular hikes here in Zion. There's the Narrows, and then there's Angel's Landing. Angel's Landing has sheer drop-offs on both sides, and you have to sign like a whole bunch of stuff to be able to even do it. The Narrows was incredible, and I hope you enjoyed the birds that we saw along the way. We're now at Big Bend, which is the best place to see condors. Unfortunately, the volunteers haven't seen any at all today. We'll stay here for a little bit and hopefully find them. I have condors on my life list, California condors, but I do not have them for the state of Utah. I'd love to get them for my state list, and I'd love to show them on the channel again. So let's see if we can find these birds.
We didn't find the condors, but little did I know that the next day was going to be one of the best days of birding I've ever had.
What's up, everybody? It's 6 a.m. and our last day to find the iconic California condor. So come with us as we head to Kolob Reservoir and Lava Point to see if we can find these majestic birds. Cue the music and let's hit the road.
Country lanes and coastal plains, endless views that we're passing through, making our way to a distant place, just us two, somewhere new. Watch the sky fade into the night. With you, my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a starlit beach, just us two.
All right, I'm at Kolob Reservoir right now, just looking for condors, trying to see if they're riding the thermals up in the air so far, and no luck at this point. But I have a few more spots that we can check. We're gonna hang out here just for a little bit longer. Hopefully we find them flying over somewhere between here and another place called Lava Point. So we've seen some other cool birds out here, including my sparkbird, the mountain bluebird, as well as a western kingbird. So 2 birds on our list to start off the day here at Kolob Reservoir. Again, the big goal is California condor. That's what we came out here for. And then there's also a possibility of zone-tailed hawk, which would be a lifer for me. I do secretly really want that bird as well, but it's going to be, a bit of a long shot. Condors should be the easier of the two, but knock on wood, we see at least one of these
majestic, amazing birds. Along the reservoir, there were quite a few different species, including this common raven, a staple desert bird out west. Up in a tree was this western tanager, which was quietly joined by an American robin. One of the highlight birds of this video, the black-headed grosbeak, later occupied the same tree, singing from the very top. A family of mule deer watched us from a nearby meadow. Hey guys, do you know where the condors are? No? Alright. Alright, so a little bit of a development. From like probably a mile away, spotted a massive bird soaring over where we just came from, Kolob Reservoir. So I got some video of it and I took some pictures. I can't definitively tell what it is. It looks huge. It honestly, to me, looks like a condor, but I also recognize that sometimes you see what you want to see. There it is. California condors have one of the greatest comeback stories in United States history. 40,000 years ago, during the Pliocene era, California condors were found throughout North America. However, by the 1980s, the population declined to only 22 birds. The condor's downfall was primarily due to lead poisoning. Condors are scavengers, and while eating carcasses, they often ingest lead fragments from ammunition left behind. Habitat loss is also a huge factor in the condor trying to make a comeback. Their suitable habitat has just been overrun by developments. Due to this decline, conservationists decided to capture the remaining 22 condors in the wild and start a captive breeding program to save the species from extinction. These heroic acts worked, and today the condors' numbers stand over 561, with 347 of them in the wild and 214 in captivity. There are populations in Arizona, California, and Utah. This makes them one of the rarest birds on my life list. The California condor is the largest wingspan bird in North America at 10 feet long. At carcasses, the California condor's only rival is the golden eagle due to their large size. They can go 1 to 2 weeks without eating and can store 3 pounds of meat in their crop, which is a part of the esophagus. It is said that the California condors can live to be 50 or more years old, making them one of the longest living birds on the planet. Their recovery is quite slow because they only have 1 egg per nesting attempt, and they don't nest every single year. The young also depend on their parents for a staggering 12 months, and take 6 to 8 years to reach maturity. Condors have been found hundreds of miles away from release sites, sometimes showing up in strange places, although this is pretty rare. But they are heavily monitored by tracking devices on each bird, and every bird also has a unique number for identification. Let me know in the comments below, do you have this incredible comeback bird on your life list? All right, I'm just sitting here on this cliffside right now. We have a California condor just perched on the edge of the cliff over here. Absolutely incredible creatures, largest wingspan in North America, 10-foot wingspan. This is a young one. It has a dark head. When they become adults, their heads turn that pink color that you're used to seeing. So the darker head ones are juveniles, younger. And this is number 67. I'll give you some more information in the voiceover on, the background of this bird. We actually saw 2 condors. The other one flew off over the ridge. We haven't seen it since, but this one stopped right over for us and it's just hanging out with us. So we got the condor, absolutely incredible. I'm so stoked right now. We got the California condor, biggest wingspan in North America, 10 feet. This bird is incredible. I mean, I've seen it once before. If you haven't seen the original Life for California Condor video that came out in the first 2 weeks of the channel, you got to go check that one out. But this experience was just as good. We didn't know if the condors were going to show up. I saw one, I think, way out in the distance. And then we came back to this other spot and boom, it's chilling right up in the trees. Absolutely incredible. I couldn't ask for a better experience. There were adult condors, younger condors, one perched right in front of us. Absolutely amazing. We're going to head down the road here a little bit. There's a chance we could still see a zone-tailed hawk, but we'll see if we could pick up any more birds along the way. Obviously, if we see more condors, I'm going to put them on camera, but what an amazing adventure so far. We made our way to our next location, known as Lava Point, with hopes of seeing a zone-tailed hawk. More mountain bluebirds flew all around us, enjoying the open meadow habitat. An amazing sight unfolded above us, an osprey chasing a turkey vulture out of its territory. Every time we saw a turkey vulture, we had to double check, as zone-tailed hawks mimic turkey vultures to fool their prey into a false sense of security. The reason for the osprey's aggression became clear when we saw their nest on top of a tree just below. A pair of northern flickers chased each other back and forth.
All right, now we're at Lava Point, and it's just incredible views of Zion National Park where we were yesterday. We are in still Zion, so the views are of Zion Canyon, and we've seen some incredible stuff this whole entire trip to southern Utah between St. George and Zion National Park. Let's continue going, and we have a little bit left. No zone-tailed hawk, unfortunately. There's a chance we could see one on the way out, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but they're really rare out here.
As I walked through the woods, a yellow-rumped warbler popped its head out. Another soaring bird caught my eye from above, but it was another turkey vulture riding the thermals. A very charismatic bird, the mountain chickadee, balanced on a teetering branch and filled the air with a wheezing, chipping call. Back on the road on our way out of the park, one more surprise caused us to slam the brakes and jump out of the car.
Absolutely incredible. I just got a lifer on my list. Zone-tailed hawk. It's also a rare bird and rarely reported out here. Hard bird to find, and it was soaring with some turkey vultures. In fact, we just had a wild zone-tailed hawk chase, goose chase, trying to find this bird. We saw it soar over and we were like, oh, that looks a little bit odd. And so then I took some pictures of it, and I could tell that it didn't have a turkey vulture head. So then we got excited and we saw it perched in a tree. Then it flew off, and we ended up driving to the next meadow as it flew away, and we got it on camera. So that bird is obviously the highlight of this trip, with the California Condors, of course. I'll never get tired of seeing California Condors. Lifer on the list for the day. Let's go.
This was one of my greatest adventures in a long time. We found 2 new state birds, including one of the hardest birds to find in Utah, the zone-tailed hawk. Let me know in the comments below, what bird did you enjoy seeing the most? Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.